everyone, it's Salman Bahu. I'm affiliated with University of Udine, Italy and University of Agder, Norway. Welcome to the playlist How to Find PhD Scholarship in Italy in the field of economics, management and business. In this video, we'll talk about the second step when you are planning to apply for a PhD. The second step is related to your identity documents, your CV, your contact details. This step is also very important because you will submit all this information and document with your PhD application, and it will be evaluated by the PhD board. First of all, identity documents. Remember that as a foreigner in Italy, you must have an identity document which is passport, a valid passport for at least 1 year to apply visa or something like that. And also you can have your English identity card. Second, they will ask you a CV, and for the CV they will provide you some specific format. Let's suppose you go to university website and they mention, okay, this is the format and you have to complete your CV within this format. That's fine, you have to follow that one. But if they are not recommending you any format, I will recommend you to follow the European CV format, which is mostly used by the universities. You can download this format from the International Research and Scholarship Center Facebook page, Facebook group. So it's available there. Let's have a look on the format. If you have a look on the format, this is the format. Here you need to provide a photo. Remember that as a student, sometimes we do very small careless. We make small mistake when we're providing information about us. Your photo should be very official. It should be very official one. It should be made according to the minds of your PhD committee. Let's suppose you're applying for a PhD in Italy, and your photo should be your dressing, your complete structure of your photo will be according to their requirement. Why I'm talking about this, maybe someone have a different requirements, dressing requirement in different countries, so you have to follow the official clothing requirement of the Italy, or something like professional life. Like maybe if you're a male person, you can wear two-piece and you can have a very good photo, and that photo should be here. Further, I want to talk about the email address. Most of the time students make email addresses with very strange names. They add different type of names like Ali 12457 and something like that. So I will recommend you to make email address with your full name. You can add some number if that email address is not available. You have to make an email address with your full name. Let's suppose I made my email address for my YouTube channel salman.bahu.online@gmail.com. So you can choose anything, but at least your complete name, and then you can add some small number. You can differentiate, or maybe let's suppose you can add your field of research, Salman Bahu researcher @gmail.com. So why I'm saying this, there are two advantages: your full name, then you are adding your field of research, and you're giving a very good impression to your reader, and it's easy for them to recognize you. Don't add numbers too much, at least add your full name. And then another step, remember that when you make a Gmail account, always add a profile picture. Your Gmail account should have a profile picture, because when you write email to someone, it should go there. So it's like you're presenting yourself to the PhD committee. Another point I want to mention here, that your contact detail, your Skype number, always give two numbers, and always give a permanent number in your CV, which should also be available on WhatsApp. And your WhatsApp profile should also have your complete name. Always have your complete name on your WhatsApp. Let's suppose we have the option to give a status on the website, so you can write your name, Salman Babu, and after you can give your number. So I can give my number here, that +3933281805515. So this is also available on my YouTube channel. So why I'm mentioning this is, someone want to contact you through the WhatsApp, they can easily find you. They can get an impression from you, that okay, this guy is really an official person, and that's why he given or she given us a very official number on the on their CV. Another point I want to mention about the Skype name, because most of the time when we are in foreign country and we are applying for PhD in Italy, most of the interviews, which is a requirement of the PhD, they goes through the Skype. And anyhow, your Skype name is also available on your CV. So remember that always make a Skype name with completed. Even you can use the same email address as the name of Skype. So I can make salman.bahu@gmail.com @online. So why I'm saying this again, you are selling yourself. You should have skills to sell yourself. Your impression is very important. So at least have a full name on your Skype address. Also give email address which is linked with that name, so they can easily find you. Your Skype ID also have a very good and official picture on your Skype ID. Make sure it's visible and they can contact you easily. Here are some tips. Then you can complete all the personal requirement. Please try to be very correct about your information. Completely fill it, and then we move to the next stage. After providing your personal details and all the things, you have to provide the summary of your area and expertise. Why I'm saying about the summary of your area and expertise? So let's see. Here I mentioned that position is the application for PhD in Finance, University of Udine, Italy. I'm giving an example, University of Udine, Italy. Then I will write my area of research or my subject. What is my subject here? So I mentioned for the ease of the committee, they should understand what area I'm working. Here you have to write your experience. The next thing, experience. So in the experience section, you can mention your research experience, you can mention your work experience. You can divide your experience into two forms. This is your experience, because they will not, you can add more columns. Maybe I can divide it, and then you can, after that you can do editing here. So I mention here, this is the work experience. So first you have to mention the research experience. Yes, research experience. So here you need to add the position. Okay, what was your position there? Place with occupied position. I can mention here that I worked as research during my MPhil. Okay, that's fine. When I did my MPhil, I have experience. So you have to add here 1 year research, in the second year of MPhil. Okay, here I want to mention a very interesting thing about the experience. Most of the students who did MPhil, they don't mention that we did 1 year research in the second year, because if you see the MPhil structure or in several countries, most of the time after completing the coursework, you go and you do a thesis or you do a project. So mention it that between this period to this period I did my MPhil, And here another important thing I want to mention, that after the MPhil, several students work with different professors, maybe in any country, on a distance, or they ask, or maybe they're working with the same professor who was supervisor in MPhil, but they don't ask them to give the certificate because they are assisting them as a research assistant, but they don't ask them to provide us the documents. So I will recommend you can add another position and other experience. If you worked after MPhil with any professor in any university, you can ask him to give you a certificate that you work privately. Okay, that's fine. If this position is not announced by any university, that privately you work with this professor as a research assistant, or you work with a professor in some specific project. So this thing basically shows your research experience. So remember that if you work with any professor, ask him or her to give you a certificate to show your research experience. After that, you can also copy this, and if you have any type of working experience, yeah, so maybe here you can add it. Yeah, so you can copy it here, and then you have to add the work experience as according to the requirement of the CV. Then you have to provide your list of publication as well. After the research experience, you can even provide the list of publications, but here in the CV they also have a place, publications, so you will provide the list of publications at this place. Okay, and yes, your professional work experience, we have already discussed about the professional experience, and please remember that when you are submitting the list of the articles, remember that always submitted published articles, under process articles, papers under review in the journals. Make a 3 category. So when you're giving the details of the articles, you can make 3 categories. First category should be published, okay, and under review in journals, and under process. Under process means their review, and then provide a complete citation of that article. This is very important because sometimes we just mention the name, and I don't know who was the author, and I don't have time that I copy this and I check on the internet, okay, this is your article. So next we move forward. Yeah, qualification. Remember that qualification is a very important point. So after adding your educational qualifications, you can add your personal skills, the languages you know. You can add the different English language skills. If you have IELTS results, even if you don't have IELTS results, you can mention here your level. It's B1, B2, or B3. So you can mention here your communication skills, your managerial skills, because as you're a guy in the management field, then you can mention these type of the things. Then your digital skills, how many softwares you know, what is the level you know about that, you know, statistical software, you know, MS Office, you know, etc. So you can mention all of the things here. If you got some certificates, you can mention about that. After that, if you have some seminars, citations, courses, everything which you have achieved, you can mention on that information here. Another important thing is the references, because references is also very important point. Remember that when you're giving someone as a reference on your CV, it does not so much matter that, okay, this professor is very big, he's a very big guy, he's very busy, he's working as a dean of a school, so if I will get the reference letter from him or her, I will get admission. No. Remember that the reference, the person to whom you are referring, and the person who is recommending you, he or she should have a time to give you a reference letter. Sometimes university ask to the relevant references to upload letter directly there. They want the reference person should go and write the reference on their website, or upload a letter or a reference letter on their website. So if that guy is very busy, maybe you lost some opportunity. Remember that. And second, that If you are writing reference letter yourself and he's just signing, so make sure you're writing a proper reference letter and you're providing all the complete details, email, valid contact number, position, mention all the things, name of institute completely in your CV. So reference is also very important. Yes, after the references you can find out what type of information you can add more in your CV. So in this video basically we learn very small and very important points related to your documents, your CV, your WhatsApp, your email addresses, because remember you are selling yourself and your impression is very important on the PhD committee. And I will also recommend you, when you complete your CV, give your CV to anyone, to your friend, your family member, to read and improve the language. There should not be mistakes, there should not be grammatical mistakes, there should not be the typos, different type of typos. So try to remove all those type of the mistakes. I hope this video is helpful for you. Please subscribe my channel and also join our Facebook group. Thank you so much.